So for 2-point perspective, I'm going to go ahead and just start with 2 boxes up here. Just kind of dividing this space up. 2 large rectangles. Kind of imagining that those are my 2 picture planes. And I'm going to use 2-point for both of these examples. All right, so with 2-point perspective, I should probably lock my screen so it doesn't keep getting all blurry. I'm still going to start with my horizon line, right? So I'm going to decide, where am I in this picture? Am I above? Am I below? We'll just put it just right in the middle. Just keep it real simple. So right in the middle, I'm just going to draw a line across. This is my horizon line. Really similar to 3-point, I'm going to put my vanishing points at the very furthest edge I possibly can, right where the horizon line meets the edge of my paper, or in this case, my little composition, my sketch. So last time in 3-point perspective, I had a dot at the bottom that I brought up. Well, this time I don't have that dot. So I'm going to use vertical lines instead. So to make sure it's vertical, I like to keep my ruler next to the edge of my paper and try to make sure that I keep it vertical all the way across. I can also use, because of the see-through ruler, I can use the see-throughness to be able to see, am I lined up with the top edge of the paper. So in the middle of the paper, going halfway above and below, I'm only going to do it about 1 inch tall. I've got about 1 inch tall line right over the horizon line. About a 1/2 inch over, 1/2 inch under. So that's the very first difference we've had versus 3-point perspective. So now we know with 2-point, lines can go vertical. That's one way. What's the other way? They can go orthogonal. So in 2-point perspective, lines can go vertical or orthogonal. In 3-point perspective, they were all orthogonal. Every single thing went to a vanishing point. Now we're adding in verticals. All right, once I have that vertical, this is going to be really similar to the 3-point. I need to connect it to my vanishing points. So the bottom to my vanishing point. And the top to my vanishing point. It's kind of like a wall that goes on forever. I want to make this wall stop, because right now it just goes on forever. So at any point on the side of this wall, I can draw a vertical, and that will make it stop. It has to be vertical though. So again, I'm checking the top of my paper to see that my line is going straight across. I'm going to connect at any point and stop that wall. So now it's kind of like one small floating wall. Because this is above and below my eye level, it means I'm not going to see the roof and I'm not going to see the bottom. So all I'm going to see are the sides. So right now I see this left side. I'll kind of shade this in just so you can see it better. We're not going to be able to see that horizon line through it. Bless you. And so now I need the other side of the wall. So, same thing I just did. From the top and bottom, go to the opposite vanishing point. So I went to the top to the right vanishing point. I'm going to go to the bottom to the right vanishing point. So I could be done. It would just be a really, really, really long box. I'm going to go ahead and make it more into like a building. So that just means I need to end this right side. So at any point on this right side with a vertical line. Now what I can do, notice the power of see-through now. Look what I'm doing. I'm lining up the center line here, the line that's over here, just to make sure that all 3 of these lines are parallel. So I really want to make sure that I'm keeping all my verticals absolutely vertical and parallel to each other. So now I have my little box. And I could, if I wanted to, kind of lightly shade this side. Little cross hatching. That's 2-point perspective. Lines can go vertical, lines can go orthogonal. All right, let's do a little test over here. Let's put the horizon line up higher. If the horizon line is higher, are we going to see the top or the bottom of the box? Because the box is going to be down here. Will we see the top or the bottom of the box? What do you think? It's down below us. If it's down below us, we're going to see the top of the box. So we're going to start it the same way. We started with the vertical last time. We're going to start with the vertical this time. So down here towards the bottom of this box, I'm going to start with the vertical that's about 1 inch tall. And it's the same drill. From the top and the bottom, I'm going to take it to my vanishing points. The biggest trick to this is to make sure that you're actually going to those vanishing points. It needs to hit precisely. It can't just be somewhere near it. It has to be right there. I'm going to end the left side by making another vertical. Make sure that you're staying completely vertical. So the left side of that box is Dunsky. Have a nice solid wall over here. Going to the right side. This is really a very precision-oriented drill. It can't just be close. It has to be right on. And remember my trick from yesterday. I put my drawing utensil right here on the dot that I want to start. I put my ruler to it, and then I can rotate it to get it to the point that I want to hit. And I'll end my right wall with a vertical. Connect those two together. So if you look at this, some people would say that this is an open book facing us. Some would say that it's a book facing away from us. So we can imagine it as pages were going out this way, or we can imagine it as pages coming out toward us this way. If we left it like that, it would just be two thin walls. We want to put a top on this. The only option I have, lines can either go vertical or orthogonal. If I took vertical lines out of this, that wouldn't get me anywhere. So orthogonal is going to be my option. If I take this line and keep going, that's not going to do anything. But what if I went this way with it? That's going to start to give me the top. So I'm going to go from the furthest point across to the opposite vanishing point. That will give me the back wall on the left side. I'm going to go from this corner to the opposite vanishing point. And that will give me the top. I didn't quite draw it long enough, so I'm going to go back and fix that. Now I have a box. I can see the top, the left, the right. I can give it a little bit of shading if that kind of helps you see it better. That's a 2-point perspective box. All right, test time. Does this make sense? Directly below, I would like for you now to move the horizon line all the way to the bottom. Put a vanishing point at each edge. Start with a 1-inch mark up in the sky, right in the middle. And turn that into a 2-point perspective box in the sky. That's your test. See if you can do it. And if you would like it, I'm going to give you a hint. Look what happens when I turn my paper upside down.